Round of applause for Robert Kiyosaki, please. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here with you, Robert.
It's an honor for me to be here, and this is a world-famous star here, so I'm honored to be with you. And thank you for working with us on the Rich Dad Project.
Gracias, al contrario. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
La razón por la que estoy aquí siendo parte de este equipo es cuando leí Papá Rico, Papá Pobre, me di cuenta que había muchas cosas que estaba haciendo mal en mi vida, el no saber cómo funciona el dinero, el no entender que puedo hacer más cosas que depender solamente de mi trabajo, el poder convertirme en un inversionista profesional o en un dueño de un negocio, sería una forma mucho más inteligente de vivir y seguir haciendo mi trabajo porque lo amo, no porque necesito hacerlo. Entonces este libro literalmente cambió mi vida. I'm sharing that this book literally changed my life, and I immediately felt the need of sharing with the Hispanic population. Inmediatamente sentí la necesidad de compartir este mensaje con toda la población hispana de los Estados Unidos.
Thank you. I'll tell you the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a true story about my two fathers. I grew up in Hawaii. I'm fourth-generation Japanese-American, so I apologize that I don't speak Japanese, much less Spanish, so I'm barely speaking English these days. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a very simple story about my two fathers. My real dad was the head of education for the state of Hawaii. Very good man, hardworking, PhD, and high-paid government official. But no matter how much money he made, he was broke at the end of every month, and he ultimately died poor. That's why I call him my poor dad. Great guy, but he had no money. My rich dad was my best friend's father, and although he was a man who started with nothing, he ultimately became one of the richest men in the state of Hawaii. So when you look at the white sand beaches and the blue waters and the palm trees and the hula girls and the big hotels, my rich dad's family owns some of that land under those big hotels. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad is a very simple story of what two fathers, one rich, one poor, tell their two sons about money. And that's why I'm really, grateful that Marco liked the book. Anyway, thank you.
Bueno, pues para mí la importancia de escuchar esta historia es darnos cuenta que todos y cada uno de nosotros, si usamos lo más importante que tenemos en nuestra vida, que es nuestra mente, y cambiamos nuestra forma de pensar, podemos accesar a la riqueza, podemos accesar a la abundancia, y nos puede ir mucho, mucho mejor. And sharing that the most interesting part of this book for me is that if we change the way we think about money, the way we learn the way it works, we increase our financial literacy, we can make it big. I mean, we can make much more money.
Right. The only difference between a rich person and a poor person is the 6 inches between your brains here. That's all. If this book was designed to change the way a person thinks, but also this cash flow game here, which I'm really happy to announce is now in Spanish also, was designed to change people's minds, to give them the financial education so a person can start thinking and acting and doing like a rich person. And the way this all came about is very simply, I was talking to Marco and I said, how do we reach, the people, the Spanish-speaking people throughout the world? And he says, why not just start here in America, because there's 40 million, Hispanic or Spanish-speaking people in America, because these are the influencers through the rest of the world. So by working with Marco here in America, we can, help other Spanish-speaking people all over the world, right here in America. Because as Marco and I are concerned about is you have so many people running across our borders, from South America, Central America, and Mexico, and wherever they come from, not because they love America, but because they need the money. And they're very brave people, but also there's a loss of dignity, I guess, also, if you have to leave your own country just to come to work for money. So this is our way of, giving back, because he and I have been very fortunate, very blessed. But the way you help other people is by not giving them money, because the more you give people money, the more you give poor people money, the more poor people you create. So what we're creating is a financial education company that'll train people to train their friends and their families to become more financially viable, stronger, and so that they don't have to run away from their homes just for money.
Es por eso que estamos aquí y podemos aprender a través de Papá Rico, Papá Pobre y los siguientes libros, y sobre todo jugando Cash Flow, que está disponible ya en los Estados Unidos en la dirección de la página de internet que aparece en este momento en pantalla. Ahí lo pueden adquirir, pueden hacer clic e ir y el juego se los podemos enviar por correo. Yo le quisiera pedir a Robert Kiyosaki que nos explicara un poco cómo funciona el cuadrante del flujo del dinero para poder aprender más cómo diferentes personas tienen un punto totalmente distinto de cómo funciona el dinero. Can you talk a little bit about the cash flow quadrant and the way it works and how different people see the money?
Sure. The quadrant is back here. It's the quadrant is E, S, B, and I. And what E stands for employees. And those are the people that, my poor dad always said to me, go out and get a job. That's an employee's mentality, work for somebody else. S stands for self-employed or small business people. And those are the people that, they don't really have a job, but they may clean yards, or they may be a doctor or a lawyer or something like this. But they work via their labor. The B stands for big business, like in America, that would be Bill Gates, an entrepreneur, or Michael Dell of Dell Computers. And I stands for investor, like Warren Buffett or Donald Trump, or even Oprah would be a B, So my poor dad always said to me to go to school to get a job over here. And I said, I don't want to be an employee, I don't want to work for a corporation. I don't want to climb the corporate ladder. It's not that I think this is bad. It just didn't fit my personality. And, my mother wanted me to become a doctor, and I didn't do well in school. So, S stands for smart. And I wasn't that smart in school. So my rich dad said, you'll do very well as an entrepreneur, in business. So that's why I've been an entrepreneur. I've only had a job for 4 years of my life, but I build companies. So today I have this company, a real estate company. I have a gold mining company in China, a silver mining company in South America, an oil company. But I just build companies. And then I invest primarily in real estate and all those things. The point here is this: our school systems train us to be E's and S's. And the rich are B's and I's. These are the richest people in the world, and these are the hardest working people in the world. One more point, in America, these people pay the heavy taxes over here because they're physically or manually working for money. Over here, these people get the tax breaks, and this is worldwide. Because over here, you work for money, and over here, people or your money works for you. And the governments of the world want people that create jobs or know how to have extra money to invest. So that's why the tax breaks are over here. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and my cash flow game are designed to teach people to be B's and I's, and our school system teaches us to be E's and S's.
Okay, como se pueden dar cuenta, Robert lo acaba de decir, hay muchísimas razones por las cuales estar del lado de ser un dueño de un negocio, ser un inversionista profesional, tiene una gran ventaja, no solo por los impuestos, sino por la cantidad de dinero que puedes ganar. Le quiero preguntar a Robert, ¿en cuál de los 4 lugares del cuadrante puedes ganar más dinero? Robert, in which of the 4 parts of the quadrant can you make the most money?
The richest people in the world are here. That's Bill Gates. And the richest investors are over here, like Warren Buffett. They're the richest in the world. But I'm not saying everybody come over here. What I'm saying here is this: there's a lot of people who make a lot of money here. Many doctors and lawyers and hardworking self-employed people make money here. The point is, be the one that you want to be most successful in. Today, in today's world, even though you're an employee, you still need to be an investor. Because if you don't invest, you'll always be poor. So what I say is you need 2 professions today, one for you to work in and one for you to invest in, where your money working for you.
Le quiero preguntar ahora a Robert, ¿cómo es que cash flow nos ayuda a entender esto y a encontrar una profesión para nuestro dinero? How does the cash flow game help us to find a profession for our money?
So this here is a cash flow game, and our school system trains most of us to go into what's called the rat race here. And the rat race is where you get up and you work hard for money, work hard for money. But the fast track outside is where the rich invest. And one of the reasons the rich get richer is because this is where the real money is made, on the fast track. But the key to the whole cash flow game is this right here. This is a financial statement. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad is about how you read financial statements. Financial education begins with financial literacy. Do you know the difference between income, expense, assets, and liabilities? So it is the only game in the world that actually teaches people to understand what accountants know, but also what